Who's that guy with the wings on his back? He's Hawkman, he's Hawkman, he's Hawkman!
Over the years, there have been many accurate depictions of everyone's favorite winged DC Comics superhero, Hawkman. The first, and still one of my favorite, is the Superpowers Collection Hawkman figure. I got him when I was around 6 years old, and just loved the fact that he looked exactly like he looked in the comic books of the day. Not too many years after the discontinuation of the Kenner Superpowers collection, Toy Biz got the DC license and they produced a Hawkman figure as well, modeled clearly after the Superpowers collection, albeit not nearly as nice looking. Then we got the Total Justice version of Hawkman. Now over the years, DC Direct also gave us many excellent versions of Hawkman as well. In the Hawkman Hawkwoman Silver Age 2-pack, we got a Ned McGuinness Hawkman figure, we got a First Appearance Hawkman, we got a Showcase Presents Hawkman, we got a Brightest Day Hawkman figure, we also got an Identity Crisis Hawkman figure, all of which are excellent renditions of Hawkman himself. Now Mattel also gave us two versions of Hawkman, the first of which came out in their regular DC Universe Classics line, and you can see that this Hawkman looks very, very similar to the one that Kenner gave us way back in 1986. I'm partial to this Hawkman and it remains one of my favorite Hawkman figures to this day. Mattel also gave us a new 52 Hawkman sculpt, and it looks just like it does in the comics as well. For all the shortcomings and times that Mattel has messed up and dropped the ball in different parts of action figure head sculpts and body sculpts, they did a really great job all around every time they tackled a Hawkman figure. Now even though we got this massive pile of excellent Hawkman figures to begin with, and I could have lived my entire life without having to customize a Hawkman figure, I just sort of felt the itch to make one of my own. Thus, you see before you now, my Custom Kitbash Classic Hawkman figure. Now the recipe for this figure is as follows. From the knee all the way up to the neck, not including the head, and not including the legs from the knee down, it's the Showcase DC Direct Hawkman figure. I really fell in love with the buck and the build of this figure because it looks pretty much exactly like the Superpowers Hawkman figure, and that's my favorite Hawkman, so I was trying to recreate that figure in a 6-inch scale. Now the head, the mace, and the legs from the knee down are all from the DC Universe Classics Hawkman. It's a simple boil and pop for the head and as well for the legs. It's a little bit trickier. You need to boil and pop the old legs from the knee down off of this Hawkman and do the same thing with the DC Universe Classics and then pop the new legs right into the hinge holes and put the hinge peg back through. You need to do the whole thing while his legs are still warm and pliable from being in the hot water. In the end, I'm really happy with the final result of this custom Hawkman figure, and I think that it's an excellent additive and displays really well with a 1980s based Justice League figure display. Now for me to complete this custom costed around $60 because I had to track down an open version of the DC Universe Classics Hawkman figure is the only way to get it cheaper, and then I also had to track down a DC Direct Showcase Presents Hawkman figure, and both of those figures were around $30 a piece. And here we see Hawkman nice and cozy displayed alongside some of my other DC Direct figures that I use in my 1980s based Justice League action figure display. You can see that the bright colors on Hawkman match the rest of the bright coloring on the other 80s based Justice League characters. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments if you think that this is a good custom. I'd be really happy to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. I really appreciate that a lot. Subscribe if you haven't so you can get more of what I do, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo!
Who's that guy with the wings on his back? He's Hawkman, he's Hawkman, he's Hawkman!